Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the patrons. Make sure to subscribe and let's get into it. We are flying the Jaguar IS, the Indian Jaguar that was just in the event, right? Today is the start of the 8th star, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, we can get the Jaguar, and now we are playing a little bit to see how it performs in real battles and to see if it's worth keeping it or selling it if you have that doubt. So let's talk about the games that I had. I had 2 games that I recorded over here. I don't want this video to be too long, so I just will show 2 games. But it's an interesting aircraft. In ground battles, first guys, it is a very reliable air-to-ground weaponry system, platform to actually deal with the targets. But there is a problem with it. It's quite the high BR. Of course, in the future, we'll probably see different BRs for ground and air battles. They already confirmed that. But I don't know. I have a feeling that 11.0 is kind of a high BR for this aircraft for ground. Not because of the aircraft. I think the aircraft that it faces, it's pretty fine to kill, and it has the magic choose that can deal with it. The 11.0 BR is kinda even too low for that, if you ask me. But the problem is that he only has the laser guided bombs, and more times than not, you will be facing the panzers or the top tiers of AA systems, and that can be a problem. I actually try to force me into some lower tier matches and some higher tier matches using different tanks, so I try to use an 11.3 tank to just go for what it would be like a top tier match. And I gotta say, it's really hard. I got killed so many times, it is really hard. So when you get to an up tier, you will suffer a little bit. In the down tiers, it is a little bit easier. Of course, you will still face some F4s, some MiG-23s that can kill you and very easily, so you need to be careful with your surroundings. And that's pretty much the problem with aircraft. But the real problem is when you get to a top tier match and you get the panzers or something along those lines of an AA system. Even if you climb a lot, even if you maintain the distance, those AA systems will still manage to sometimes kill you. So you gotta be careful. It's still a very deadly weapon system, and the Mark 13s over here, they're pretty well designed for hitting targets far away, if you are smart enough about it on how you deploy the weapons. Not the type of deployment that I am doing here, but I had I had some bad matches and I was trying to get a good one, so I decided to, instead of just staying away, I went straight upwards, and tried to maintain a little bit of a distance on the altitude, and I still managed to be fairly competitive, and I killed a bunch of tanks. I mean, 3 tanks. That's, I think, the main problem with this aircraft is that it only has 3 bombs, right? So you can get 3 kills, sometimes more, if you try to do what I was trying to do over here of killing 2 targets at once. But it's not something that you can do anytime anyway, right? And remember, of course, I got kind of lucky over here that no heavy advanced fighter was actually coming towards me. No F-15s, no I mean, an F-15 would probably not see me, but in this particular match, but something like a very advanced, or not even that advanced, but like an early 4th generation aircraft, like a MiG-29, an F-16A or something like that, could actually come kill me. So I was kind of lucky to not see that. The aircraft that eventually came to actually try to kill me was the MiG-23. It was actually funny that I tried to fire the magic, as you're going to see over here, thinking that it was the dev server, but look at the difference in turn, man. In the dev server, the magic is such a good missile, and finally it will be buffed. But yeah, the second shot there was pretty alright. But yeah, this aircraft will be a lot better when the magic gets its buff on the real life server, because in the dev is a completely different missile. I gotta say, it's really different. But yeah, eventually I tried to kill some some drones over here, but I ended up not killing anything else. So you can get a lot of kills, you just have to be careful with the top tier aircraft that sometimes you will face. Not that you cannot defend yourself, you can. You have the magics and stuff, but it's a little bit difficult. But the main problem, I think, is the Panzer itself, or the more advanced EA systems that this thing kind of faces if you get an up tier. Then we went for the air match. Here it's kind of a different picture. I think this aircraft here can perform a lot better. Of course, I got a very good match over here that I don't think there was any like 12.0, so it depends on the BR that you get. Oh, there's an F-14B there, but anyway, it wasn't a big number of them, and you know, it was alright. The aircraft that I was facing were F4s, MiG-21s, 23s, some F-16s, but nothing too crazy. And yeah, again, I have the Magic too, so it is a fairly good missile to actually do well. And yeah, there are some 12.0s there, but you can perform a little bit and try to get them, you know. I still would use this thing as a ground attacker and take the bombs and would jettison it if a lot of aircraft starts to get close to you. Here, for example, I was deciding if I was going to release the weapons or not. I decided to maintain it because they were not on my 6. As you see, an F-16 there. Kind of a poor shot. He kind of went below the thing there, the hill there, so the missile just hit the ground. But still, I got one kill with the Magic, and I mean, it was kind of a cannon kill that I could have gotten, but still. I wasted a little bit of a missile, but still, it was a pretty alright kill. And then, I mean, I'm still in the fight over here. It's nothing like I'm completely being dominated. I'm still using the bombs. So, you gotta have a little bit of luck here. Yeah, the guy was pretty much dead. You gotta have a little bit of luck and be aware of your surroundings, like this one. I didn't notice that this ASA was so close to me. He almost got me. So you gotta be careful, because the Jaguar isn't fast enough, you know. There's a lot of faster aircraft over here in this fight, so that's going to be the main problem of it. In the dogfighting capabilities, just like any other Jaguar, you can do well. And again, the Magic Chews, they really do help you be a very competitive aircraft, you know. So it's a very fun aircraft to fly, both ground and ARB. But definitely in ARB, I think it's a little bit easier to just do well, I guess, you know. Again, depends on the matchmaking, etc., but at the end of the day, you have a little bit of a defensive performance on this aircraft. It turns very well, and it doesn't have a lot of energy, but with the defensive maneuvers, if you do them well enough, you can actually get a lot of kills, and it's just a very good defensive aircraft, right? Don't try to go after people offensively. Normally that will end up getting you killed, because you'll be overwhelmed with the amount of aircraft that you face, and you don't have a lot of missiles, you don't have a lot of ammunition, you only have one cannon, so you gotta be careful. And this is another thing that you have to bear in mind, you know. The one cannon situation, it really does make a difference. I notice a lot. You will see at the end of this video an F-14 that I was trying to kill, he just didn't die. But sometimes, if he gets the correct shot on it, the targeting can just explode. So it's kind of a luck thing, RNG kind of situation sometimes with this cannon. So just bear that in mind. It has a lot of little things that you have to have in mind in this aircraft. It's a pretty interesting one, and it feels different from the other Jaguars. Might be because of the BR and the Magics, but I don't know, it just it feels a little bit different, and it's a lot of fun. It really is. So at the end of the day, is it worth keeping it? Well, I think it is. It is an interesting aircraft. The point is that you gotta keep an eye out on the amount of money that this thing will be worth it. There will be not a lot of people that got the 750,000 points you need to get this thing to be a sellable coupon. So the price of this thing will skyrocket. Being a very good jet, of course, nothing too fancy. It's not an Object 292 or an IS-7 or a very unique vehicle like that, but it's unique enough, and it's good enough to actually be a proper aircraft that you use. So at the end of the day, I think, yes, it is worth to keep it, but keep an eye out on the price of this thing, because I really do think that this thing will be kinda costly, you know, so you can get a lot of money out of this thing for not a lot of you know, effort getting it. Sorry about that stutter there. I don't know what happened to the recording thing. And yeah, as you see, the cannon really doesn't do a lot of damage, so you gotta be careful with that. Ended up getting killed by another target, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments if you like the Jaguar IS. I particularly like it very much, but will you keep it? Let me know in the comments. I see you guys in the next one. Make sure to subscribe, and bye. See ya, guys.